Hello. Nationally, math and reading scores have plummeted to historically low levels. And in yet another election year, surprisingly, even with Virginia ranking in the top 10 states for learning loss, this is not a priority even for candidates for local school boards across Virginia, as much as the proposal from Virginia Governor Youngkin regarding restroom facilities and extracurricular sports. But ultimately, as a parent particularly, when it comes to education, do you send your kids to school to go to the locker room and hit the showers, or to prepare them to play in a championship big game of real life after graduation? Hello, my name is Major Mike Webb. I'm not a parent, but my daddy was an educator, and he always used to say major in the majors. And that was long before I was even thinking about choices for majors in college, or even scoring a touchdown on the college entrance exams. And consider this a test of your level of discernment. At especially a high school, you may become familiar with the word curriculum. The two E's, see? And for the first time, add to your expanding vocabulary the words electives and extracurriculars, which should be telling you something right there from the sound. And at least according to former Arlington Public School Superintendent Peter Murphy, he had said that it was his job basically to make sure that kids got to the next level, from kindergarten to elementary school, on to middle school, continuing to high school, and maybe later on to college. Gradual steps to the path of graduation. I believe we can agree that if you are still having some problems with proper potty training after first grade, you have some significant developmental issues that need to be addressed. But while electives are on the curriculum and may affect your choices available upon graduation to a college and later in life success, maybe some of these extracurriculars need to be placed in their proper perspective. Let's face it, only 7% of college athletes continue their extracurriculars as athletes when they go on to a college. So there is a 93% chance that athletic scholarship that was going to be your guaranteed ride to easy lifestyles of the rich and famous will never occur. And there is only a 0.03% chance of high school athletes going on to ever actually play professional ball, to get the chance to be a team player, wake up in a hospital and first ask who won the game. So at best, your chances of getting a big payoff from high school sports is very small in the real world, regardless of what's going on in fantasy football in your head. And unless you need some remedial work on being a team player, or good hand and eye coordination to prepare you for a life playing catch or pitch, at most extracurriculars are called extracurriculars for a reason. It is extra stuff. If you are going to an examination and they have an extra credit problem, if you get the extra credit problem but get everything else wrong, chances are, yeah, wonderful, you got the extra credit, but you failed the test. What do they teach you in just about every sport, however? Keep your eyes on the ball. Why? Because if you don't, you are probably going to strike out taking a swing. And they teach you to point your feet in the direction that you want the ball to go. Why? Because there is a very good chance that where you are looking is probably where that ball will end up. And let's give a real life example. So you can see, if you're sitting there looking into the locker room, looking into the stands, that may be where you're going to end up in life. I had a half-brother by marriage who had a nickname of Chili when he had attended Lincoln High School, a public high school in Jersey City, New Jersey. Chili considered himself a regular ladies' man in high school, and to the day that he died, he continued to consider himself a ladies' man. And remember that lesson about where the ball will land? Self-fulfilling prophecies. Your future is in your hand and your control. But since Chili was fast, he believed that he could be competitive in track and field. And until the day he died, he continued to subscribe to the magazine Track and Field, even though he could no longer run as fast as he used to. But he could look at the other guys that were trying to win that race. And even far more than going to college when he was in high school or aspiring to any particular profession or career, when Chili was in high school, his biggest priority was to run the mile relay at the Penn Relays in Philadelphia at Franklin Field. And he spent all of his time in high school trying to improve himself so that he could get to that place where he wanted to be, which he did. Now, if you are a good high school athlete, especially a track star, as you have to be to run in the Penn Relays, that entire race will be over in less than 4 minutes from start to finish. And your individual contribution, even as the anchorman, will be over in less than a minute. Close your eyes too long and your past will be behind you. You will miss it. And because the Penn Relays was the most important thing to Chili, at the end of his life, the only thing that he could say that was really, really important in his life was that he had a chance to go on the campus of University of Pennsylvania, an Ivy League college, and had there a chance to be at the Penn Relays, where for year after year he would return for the nostalgia of what was less than a 1 minute chance at fame in his life when he was in high school, which is probably only a little better than the most memorable point in your life being a trip you took to the locker room, when by just a change in priorities, your life could have been so much more. Or perhaps you want to be the guy who says, I could have been a contender, but I preferred to hit the showers. Major in the majors. It's like a sign. This is Major Mike Webb, and you always have a choice. This message was approved by Major Mike Webb. Honest.